Hi, my name is Ashley Johnson. I'm here to tell you a bit about the community I currently live in. In the foothills of northwestern South Carolina is a small city called Simpsonville. In this town is where I reside in. It's a neighborhood and it's called Neely Farm. This neighborhood has about 700 single-family residents and is home to people of all ages, from newborns, like mine, to retired couples. In order to understand my neighborhood, it's really important to first get a glimpse into the city that we reside in, where our neighborhood sits. Though we do have a section of town which is close to where I live called Fairview Road that basically has every single store and chain business you can think of, there's also the main street, which is much quieter. Simpsonville is technically a city, though it really feels more like a town. It has, small town fairs, ice cream shops, mom and pop stores, all in the community. So it seems it's really been caught in the middle between small town and growing region in the previous few years, as new businesses are really trying to expand their footprint and are starting to reside in Simpsonville. Simpsonville is a town outside of the city of Greenville, and it's about an hour and a half away from the city of Columbia, South Carolina. Simpsonville demographics. In 2014, the population was 20,125, which is actually a 40% increase since 2000, which is pretty amazing because just in the past year and a half since we've moved here, just in about a 1-mile radius, they've already popped up 3 new neighborhoods. So we have lots of new neighbors, which is good. So everyone's trying to get into the idea that it is growing so quickly. Gender distribution, almost equal, male 50.8, while female is 49.2. Age distribution, the average age is about 38.6 years, so it's kind of younger. It's pretty standard. The race distribution is quite bland, though. Caucasian make up about 68.3%, while African Americans attribute to about 16.6%, and Hispanic Americans 12.4% of the population. Asian Americans are 1.5%, while all the other races total account for the last 1.4% remaining percentage. Below, I'm going to show you a video quick, so you can kind of see what Simpsonville looks like.
Located in the rolling hills of northwestern South Carolina and just 10 miles south of Greenville is the community of Simpsonville, a city of over 19,000 residents and growing.
Simpsonville is conveniently located to Interstate 85 and 385, and since moving here 5 years ago, I've seen Simpsonville just grow and flourish.
I've been in business for 25 years. Great place to live. I live here. I'd like to invite you to come out and get a taste of this good old Southern charm here in Simpsonville. This city has so much to offer.
Atlanta, Charlotte, and the Smoky Mountains are a short drive away, and in about 3 hours you can enjoy a day at the beach. In Simpsonville, we love the idea of living in this charming, progressive southern city. Simpsonville, character protected, community perfected.
Okay, so that's kind of our town. So that's where our neighborhood is, so you can kind of see what exactly it looks like. Quality of life. Quality of life in this region is in line with most of the rest of South Carolina, but with a few standout exceptions. Only 7.8% of the population is in poverty, which, when the national average is 12%, it's definitely a big difference. Unemployment rate is only about 2.2%, and the high school degree obtainment by age of 25 is 90.9%, which is pretty large compared to some of the other, cities in the region. Numbers are definitely much better than the national rates. You can see in the charts not only education and financial dispositions are better, so is the housing market. Simpsonville has much lower housing rates in general. Neely Farm, the neighborhood where I live in, averages houses about 200 to 300,000 range, and homes with the same square footage and land in Pennsylvania would go for at least double to triple that. So it's pretty significant how much cheaper it is here. Also, if you look on the right, if you look at the chart, Simpsonville robberies, U.S. average robberies compared to Simpsonville, huge difference. I know in 2004, I see it was pretty significant, but we haven't lived here. We've only lived here since 2014, so what we've seen is pretty much non-existent. Both formal institutions as well as informal institutions make up a lot of the Neely Farm community and Simpsonville as a whole. Many of the family members in this area work for surrounding companies. We have a lot of major employers, GE, BMW, Michelin, and Cryovac, and also Nabisco. Places of worship are extremely important to those that live in Neely Farm and Simpsonville, and really South Carolina in general. This can be seen with the fact that just in Simpsonville alone, which is only about 8 square miles, has 46 churches, 18 of which are Baptist. The Southern Baptist in the Bible Belt is a huge part of the Southern culture where we live. As I said before, most of the area in Simpsonville has at least a high school education, which is why it's so important. We have multiple college campuses for high school graduates in the area. We have Greenville Tech, Furman, Bob Jones, Southern Wesleyan University, and University of South Carolina. Informal institutions, we have both in Simpsonville as well as specifically in Neely Farm, which is pretty neat. Our Neely Farm Homeowners Association is very active, so they really make sure to keep clubs and groups and different sort of institutions put in there. Simpsonville, as you can see, Kiwanis Club, Boy Scouts, and Girl Scouts church groups. You can't go a day without seeing someone in a church group or a church group meeting just in the area. Stay-at-home mom walking clubs. That is a big one. You cannot drive anywhere either without almost running over a group of stay-at-home moms in their walking clubs. They also have annual Halloween bashes for kids. That's a really big thing. Very family-oriented. Neely Farm, also very family-oriented. The HOA, as I said before, very active. So they have tennis teams for all ages, swim teams, there's swimming lessons, there's play groups, empty nesters clubs, and annual breakfast with Santa. Neely Farm in general, home to over 700 families. The amenities include, as you can see, clubhouse, tennis court, swimming pool, playground, gathering field, and it's less than 2 miles from the main shopping area. And you can see on the right that it's very wooded, it's very natural. They really try and make the area of Neely Farm look as peaceful and calm as possible. Here's the map of Simpsonville. As I said, it's about 8 square miles, and then also Neely Farm. Simpsonville is kind of small, and you can see Neely Farm, how it's set up. Safety. Obviously, when we want to see about a good community, we want to see about safety. Simpsonville, generally mild winters, low prevalence rates of natural disasters. We don't see hurricanes. We don't see tornadoes. It's a little hot in the summer for a northerner, but I am handling it. As you can see, air pollution, air quality trends. The city of Simpsonville is lower than average than the U.S. average, which is good. Simpsonville is also home to a very great police department. They are very active in the community as well. Ambulance services, fire stations, which is really great. And they're actually putting a second one in, another volunteer fire station. Goods and services. Simpsonville has a lot of them. They're available to both the Neely Farm community and Simpsonville in general. Fairview Road, it's only about 1.5 miles away from the entrance of Neely Farms. It's home to hundreds of stores and restaurants. They have national companies, like we said, BMW, Michelin, and GE. They're all within appropriate driving distances for work. And the Greenville healthcare system, nationally ranked. It's amazing. They have a huge system of doctors, hospitals, and specialists all in the Greenville County. And Hillcrest Hospital is right down the road from where Neely Farms is. Heritage Park is another thing. It's a huge amphitheater, and it brings in large crowds for all different well-known musical guests. I've heard that there's been Black Eyed Peas there. They're Counting Crows a long time ago. We've seen Darius Rucker was here last year, Sheryl Crow. And they also bring like state fairs, holiday programs. One of the Halloween bashes was there. They had over 5,000 children show up for a trick-or-treat for the town. Relationship that binds citizens together. As you can see, it's a pretty large event, not only in Simpsonville, but also specifically in Neely Farms. As I said, Heritage Park, concerts, fairs, events. The Simpsonville Community Center has a lot of programs for both the young and for the elderly, churches, church groups, events in the city of Simpsonville. They have a Christmas market every year. They have a summer bash. They do 5Ks. It's pretty small town oriented, even though it is so large. Events in Neely Farms in general. Breakfast with Santa. Santa rides on the fire truck through the neighborhood. There's even a car show in the spring. There's trick-or-treating where they shut down the entire neighborhood and no cars go through so that children don't get hurt. They have movies at the pool. They do that like once a month. And there's also swim teams. The common cores and values of Simpsonville residents, as well as Neely Farms especially, and there are 46 churches in Simpsonville area, so it's very religious based, very small town mentality, like I said. Opportunities. Michelin. Job opportunities are immense here. You have restaurants jobs, manufacturing jobs, sales associates jobs, and there's careers in large companies, so there's lots of chance to move up in the ladder too. Schools for Neely Farm residents, which is pretty neat. All the kids that live in this neighborhood all go to the same school. So they all go to Plain Elementary, they all go to Ralph Chandler Middle School, and they all go to Woodmont High, unless they're going to charter schools. And we have about 15 in the Greenville area, which is great. And some of them are on lottery systems, some of them are on merit-based systems, some are on different scholarship systems. It's pretty neat. But Brazier Middle College is part of Greenville Tech. And if you get into the program, you can actually take college credits. And by the end of your senior year, you are able to graduate with not only a high school diploma, but also an associate's degree. The whole person principle, definitely in our community, especially Neely Farm. Whole community is very tight-knit. Exception of charter schools, all children go to the same elementary, middle, high school together. Because of the geographical location of the neighborhood being kind of separate, they make the neighborhood, kind of closed off. Very active homeowners association, so it's not uncommon to meet acquaintances and friends, on a daily basis. Predictability. Like I said, homeowners association, very active. So they send out monthly flyers, a connector to say, this is what's going on. Predictability it's about as predictable as you can get. You can pretty much recognize almost all of its residents by faces just because everyone's out all the time. Homogeneity is generally people that live in the neighborhood, mid-30s to mid-50s, and they all have children. Almost. Most of the people that live in the neighborhood are engineers, doctors, high-level management positions in major companies. So we do not fit that bill since we're in our mid-20s and my husband's in the Army. But I digress. We still live here. And we fit in pretty well. So the biggest question is it a good community? Yes, really. We really couldn't ask for a better community to live in, not only just the Neely Farm, but also Simpsonville in general. Overall, the community that I live in is a good community, though it's true there's always room for improvement. Some of the areas of improvement, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, sidewalks. We don't have sidewalks. More diversity would also be important, religious tolerance, cultural awareness, and really some additional nonprofit resources just besides church I think would be really helpful. Well, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.